Hello everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm Erin from TerraWorks, and today we're going to be going over some of the major features of the 3.1 release. If you're new to TerraWorks and would like more information on topics that are not included in this webinar, please feel free to visit our website or contact us at hello@terraworks.org. Today we're going to walk through 4 features: assigning jobs to groups, on-device scoring and repeat jobs, our new PPI templates and reporting, and we'll also touch on the upgrade process at the end. The first feature we're going to examine is assigning jobs to groups. Many of you know this feature request as groups. With this feature, you can limit the number of jobs that are displayed on your field officer's mobile devices. There are 3 steps to setting up assigning jobs to groups. The first, enabling the feature, is a one-time setup. Creating groups can also be a one-time setup, and then you'll just need to add new users to these groups as they come on board to your organization. And finally, assigning jobs to groups when you create new jobs for your field force. Let's walk through this now. The first step to enabling the assigning jobs to groups feature is to assign all of your jobs to a group that all of your TerraWorks partner users are a member of, so the initial transition is seamless to your mobile users. To do this, click on the Surveys tab, and then edit the URL to remove everything after the apex / and type public group setup. When the page loads, click Update Job Owners, and then click OK. I've already enabled the feature in this instance, so I'm going to click Cancel. Once you click OK, all of your published jobs will be assigned to a group that all of your partner users are a member of. The next step is to go to the Setup, go to the Setup menu, and what we're going to do is make the Jobs object set to private. So if you type Sharing into your Setup menu, and go to Sharing Settings under Administration Setup and Security Controls, and then click Edit. If you scroll down to the Job object, it should be currently set as Public Read to Write. You're going to select the drop-down menu and then select Private, and then click Save. Once you click Save, the feature will be activated. The next step is to set up groups. In the Setup search menu, type Groups, and then click Public Groups under Administration Setup, Manage Users. As you can see, we already have some groups set up in this instance. I have one set up for my Kenya field officers, one for my Malawi field officers, and one for my Uganda field officers. The field officer we're going to be working with today is a member of the Uganda group. We also have a TerraWorks partner user group that all of our partner users are a member of. To create a new group, click New, give the group a name or a label. For the search criteria, select Partner Users, and then highlight the partner users you wish to be a member of the group and click Add. And then you'll see the members be in the Selected Members column. Once you've added all of the desired members, then click Save. And that's it. You've created a new public group. The final step is to now assign jobs to these public groups. There are 2 ways in which you can access this feature of assigning jobs to groups. If you're not a system administrator, you're going to access this feature via the owner alias value. If you don't see the owner alias value listed in your published view, then click Edit, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and under Select Fields to Display, the owner alias field will be in the Available Fields side. Select it, click Add, and then click Save. Now, for any published job, to assign the job to a group, click the owner alias value for that job, and then click Edit. If you scroll to the bottom of that page, under Queue Members, for the search criteria, you can select 2 different values: Partner Users, which will display individual users. This is useful for when you may be doing some testing, when you have initially created a job, and you just want to assign the job to yourself, so it only shows up on your own mobile device for testing. Then once you've tested it, you can come in and select for the search criteria public groups, and then assign a job to the appropriate group, and click Save. If you're a system administrator, the other way to access assigning jobs to groups is through any published job. So if you go to Published Jobs and click on the name of the job, you'll now see a button called Assign to Public Groups. If you click that button, you'll come to the same view as we did when we clicked on the owner alias value. And then you can assign jobs to groups under queue members. And that's it. So let's take a look at what this looks like from a mobile user's perspective. If we go to jobs, you can see we have some jobs listed for about pruning for farmers, and also some Uganda PPI jobs. If we wanted to, as an administrator, expose our access to services job to our entire Uganda field officer group, you could click the access to services job name, click Assign to Public Groups, scroll to the bottom. For the search criteria, select Public Groups, highlight the Ugandan group, and move it over to the selected members side. You would then remove any other members that are assigned to the job that you don't want to continue to have visibility on their device. And then click Save. Now upon the next sync for this field officer, because they're a member of the Uganda public group, they should have visibility to the access to services job. Let's take a look. And as you can see, the job has been displayed. And that's assigning jobs to groups. There are two other mobile enhancements that come with TerraWorks 3.1. For those of you who do not currently use scoring, scoring is the ability to assign a number value to a survey response in order to analyze what would otherwise be qualitative information in a quantitative way. Previously, field officers needed to sync in order to see score totals based on the information they collected. But now, with the on-device calculation, they have immediate access to that information without syncing. This could greatly assist field operations where the score total from a survey could determine whether a respondent is eligible for a particular program, or generally is required to inform the field officer on what their next steps would be in their interaction with their client. Let's see what this looks like for a mobile user. Continuing with the access to services, job, and survey example, we have a survey with some questions about an individual's access to different types of services. There are two different scoring groups associated with this survey. One is going to measure the individual's access to health services, and the other is going to measure the access to financial services. As you can see, each response to the single select and multi-select questions have a numerical value for the relevant score group. The new feature that was added was this checkmark box. Once this is selected, then you can display the score totals to the mobile user at the end of the survey. Let's see what this looks like on a mobile device. So continuing with the access log job, I'm going to choose a farm group and a farmer. And I'm going to complete the questions that we just saw in the survey. Based on the responses to these questions, after the survey is complete, the score totals will be presented to the mobile user. And that's on-device scoring. Another mobile feature that has been added is the repeat job button. Many of our clients have scenarios where their field officers are repeating the same job many times in a single day or field visit, and they have fairly deep hierarchy drill downs where most of the selections would be the same. Currently, their field officers are having to re-input these values with each iteration. For example, a field officer might be holding a meeting with many farmers, and they want to complete the same attendance job for 20 farmers. The hierarchy drill down may have many levels such as country, region, district, village, and farmer, which would all be the same geographical information for each of the 20 farmers. Now, when you click repeat job at the end of a survey, the mobile user is returned to the last level of the hierarchy drill down in order to streamline this use case. Continuing with our access log example, once I mark the job complete, I'm presented with 3 options. The 2 that were there previously, sync now and sync later, and then a third called repeat job. When I click repeat job, it will return me to the last level of the hierarchy drill down for this job. In this scenario, I had already selected a farm group, and the repeat job button took me to select the farmer. You can also move back up the hierarchy drill down should you need to make any changes. In TerraWorks 3.1, we've added 5 demographic questions to all PPI templates to facilitate further analysis on your PPI data. For those of you new to our Progress Out of Poverty Index templates, they contain a predefined set of 10 questions per country that determines the likelihood of the interviewee to be living below the poverty line. For more information, please visit progressoutofpoverty.org. For those of you who are already leveraging the PPI templates, your existing surveys and jobs will not be impacted, with the exception of not being able to be cloned. The new reports and dashboards that come built in with 3.1 will only reflect the data that is collected with the new templates. You will also no longer have access to the old templates for creating new surveys, so please download the new templates to create a survey with PPI questions. Let's take a tour of the new PPI templates and reports. In order to download a new PPI template, go to the Surveys tab and click Template Manager. You will be presented with any templates you've already downloaded. To get a new one, click Get New Template and save and continue. You'll then be presented with the options available to you to download. In order to download a new template, click Download. Then, to use the new template, when you click Survey and New Survey, you're going to select Create from PPI Template. In the drop-down menu, all of the templates that you've downloaded will be available to choose from. In the new template, you'll see the new demographic questions, including an identifier, the gender, age, household size, the date the person started with the organization, and also some geolocation coordinates, in addition to the standard PPI questions. For the demographic questions, you can choose to edit the wording to meet your organization's needs. You can also choose to rearrange the order of the questions and create new sections. The one thing you cannot do with the new PPI templates is delete the questions. Not only will this break the reporting for the new reports and dashboards, but your field officers will also not be able to sync. So if you delete a question from a PPI template, you'll have to recreate the survey. On the Field Mapping tab, you'll have the ability to add your own custom objects in order to map the information from the demographic questions to them. Now let's take a look at the new reports and dashboards that are available. The first is a dashboard with 4 reports about the demographic information that you're collecting with the new PPI templates. The first is poverty rates by gender. The next is by age groups. The next is by the year that the individual joined your organization. And finally, by household size. As you can see, by default, all of the different poverty lines are listed. So you may want to add different filters to be able to have different views of these dashboards. I've added a few filters. One is filtering by the PPI identifier. So if you collect information across more than one country, you can add the PPI identifier name in order to view one country at a time. Additionally, all the relevant poverty lines for that country are still displayed, so you can also add a filter to look at the ones that are important for your organization. The next dashboard contains information about outreach and monitoring. The 4 key pieces of information presented here are the average poverty rate, the poverty rates against the national rates, the poverty rates by mobile user, and also the number of records that this data is reflecting. Again, you can add filters to be able to slice and dice this information and boil it down to what's meaningful to your organization. Thank you for joining the webinar today. If you have any questions, please reference terraworks.zendesk.com, where there will be articles on all of the topics discussed today. You can also feel free to reach out to us with any questions at support@terraworks.org. Thank you and have a great day.